of in love at ease. The last time we stopped, we were learning about Pramukh Swami, the spiritual figure's eating habit, which I think is a funny passage, but it's very personal. You know, I feel like we can connect with someone and how they eat. Let's see. Swamishri was flexible and preferred to remain unadorned and simple. He could adjust anywhere and to anything. At first glance, one may doubt Swamishri's adaptability and austerity if judged by the finer material objects and luxuries that were offered by his bhaktas, his devotees in seva, selfless service, in the last 2 decades of his life. Though Swamishri rode in a comfortable car or flew in a comfortable airplane seat, it was Swamishri's lack of attachment to these objects that illustrated his simplicity and flexibility. Swamishri did not carry the weight of his station in society or the organization, no matter where he was. It explains why Swamishri was comfortable sitting in an old Maruti luggage van without proper seats after the sadhus, the monks, sent his car to the wrong airport in Mumbai. Tirtha Swarupta Swami recalls Swamishri's face after he reached the Dar Mandir. He was smiling. It was almost as if he had been felicitated in a major award show. I was scared to approach him. I had really messed up. Swamishri was almost thankful for the opportunity to avoid the pomp and fanfare and to enjoy the simple ride in a cargo van from Sahara International Airport's VIP lounge. Hello, Isabella. Hello, Redhead Rage. Mahesh Bhai Danak had bought a 1967 Pontiac Catalina for $350. It was more than 10 years old, but it looked like it was well into its 30s. All of the bhaktas and sadhus, the devotees and monks, refused to let Swamishri sit in the car again, especially since Mahesh Bhai's car was infamous for stranding Swamishri on the road. Swamishri continued to fulfill the bhaktas' desires, even after he had been delayed just 3 days before by a flat tire, and 2 days later by a busted radiator hose in that very car. Mahesh Bhai recalls how the windshield wipers barely helped with visibility, and the headlights changed their field of vision after each pothole. Swamishri was indifferent to the torn seats and musty smell in the car. 3 years later, when Swamishri returned to New Jersey, he asked Mahesh Bhai about the car. Mahesh Bhai dangled the keys with a smile. Swamishri asked for a ride in the tattered automobile 2 more times that year. He effortlessly switched between that car and another bhakta's Cadillac. Mahesh Bhai was surprised by how Swamishri almost preferred his beat-up car to the nicer ones. To be at ease is to make do with what you have. It is to prefer plain over ornate. Hello, Shakira. Swamishri needed a new pair of glasses. The attendants asked an optometrist in Surat to bring a few frames to the mandir. The sadhus selected a thin, wiry plastic frame with a golden sheen. They offered the frame to Hari Krishna Maharaj, the divine Murti image that Swamishri carried with him everywhere, and brought it to Swamishri. The Guru observed the glasses and remarked, "Nice! Who are these for?" Vivek Sargar Das Swami hastily responded, "They are for you." Who else? Swamishri did not like the way they shimmered. "These look like gold. A sadhu, a monk, should never wear anything that is so fancy. How about we just put the new lenses into the old frame? We do not need to spend money on a new pair." Vivek Sargar Das Swami took his cue. "Exactly. They look like gold. They are not made of gold." Swamishri insisted, "What's wrong with the old frame?" Why can't we just get new lenses to fit them? We will get rid of that frame. It's old, the sadhu said. And it's funny looking, too. Swamishri flipped the sadhu's views to stress his point. Does it really matter if the frame is old or funny looking? By funny looking, do you mean simple? One should use their glasses to help with one's vision, and not to make a fashion statement. The simpler the better for a sadhu. Swamishri demonstrated his ability to set apart his needs from others' wants, time and time again, whether it was a pair of dhutiya, an unstitched long cloth traditionally worn as a lower garment, napkins, footwear, or even the car in which he sat. Just ask the sadhu who was rebuked for trying to slip him a new pair of dhutiya in Nadiad, or the bhaktas from Edison, who were chased out of the room for trying to purchase a Bentley for him. Swamishri preferred candor and transparency to indirectness. Swamishri was always polite and never misled others by speaking in a roundabout manner. He would also respectfully call attention to those who tried. To be at ease is to speak openly and honestly. He spoke with the same directness to me as he did to elected officials and community leaders. Once, a group of intellectuals led by the Finance Minister of India, H.M. Patel, and a notable thinker and journalist, Ishwar Petlikar, approached Swamishri about his vows of detachment and celibacy. Swamishri, you are doing amazing work, and your contributions to society are celebrated around the region. There are some changes that you can make to your vows to be more relevant and accessible. The leaders minced their words as they tried to allude to their main point. Swamishri smiled and said, "Please, do not hesitate. Share what is on your mind. I too will respond candidly." Swamishri was amenable to hearing their suggestion, but responded straightforwardly as he had promised. "I am glad that you are worried about the growth and relevance of my community, but the traditions of the sadhu, prescribed by Bhagwan Swaminarayan, which was his Ishta Devata, his personal form of the divine, precede any other advice given by my friends and colleagues. I am not worried about my relevance or the growth of my legacy and organization. If that means sitting in a corner and doing bhakti and seva, loving devotion and selfless service by myself, then so be it. God and Guru's agnas, commanding visions, are the foundation of my spiritual journey and of all the other sadhus and bhaktas in the community." The delegation was silent and somewhat pleasantly surprised by Swamishri's directness. Swamishri often told me to say what was on my mind. When I waffled in our conversations, he would silently look into my eyes. I would then understand that it was time to speak plainly. Once, after a similar incident in Mumbai, he smiled and said, "Great, now we can begin our conversation." With Swamishri's direction, I recognized that for the last 12 minutes of our conversation, I was not saying what was truly on my mind. Swamishri politely listened as he waited for me to get to the point. Swamishri's transparency was effortless. He did not have to try to be open, because he had no secrets. As illustrated earlier in this book, Swamishri did not have a private moment in his life. He preferred it that way. After concluding an important meeting in Gondal on the organization's mandir building activities, Swamishri was scribbling a few important dates for future mandir inaugurations on a notepad. Vishwa Biharidas Swami frequently joked with his guru, "Swamishri, what are you jotting down in your personal diary? I would love to take a peek." Swamishri responded in a serious manner, "I do not have a personal diary. a personal anything for that matter. I do not have secrets. My life is open to the public. If one has a secret, one is always fearful of that secret being revealed. I live my life in the open, before the divine. I find that it makes me fearless. To be at ease is to be fearless, to be free from the fear of being exposed or revealed. And with that, let us pause our reading of In Love, at Ease there for now. So thank you for listening. And I hope that passage touched your heart as it did mine.